All right, round two. We won the roll. We'll go first. And we'll keep this. Not a great hand, but we have an E-Witness to get back whatever we get from, or, potentially get rid of from the mulch. And the mana confluence is at least a green mana, so that could be helpful. And if we actually find some way to get a Eureka, does it give haste too? No. So we will be having to resolve a... Let's get the birds out before we mulch. I presume we're playing against burn of some sort. We didn't get our Whip of Erebus back. I think that might have been the main problem. What did I take over Whip? Did I take Emrakul over Whip? That was probably where my problem was. I should have just taken the Whip. Searing Blood. Searing Blaze. Well, that's what I was expecting. Hey, Eureka. Too bad we can't cast it. That's okay. Let's mulch it up here. Well, lost our servitude, but the good news is we got E-Witness to get it back if we need it. So next turn I can get a Deranged Hermit and then maybe Eureka into a Craterhoof Behemoth. It's not the worst strategy I've ever heard. Not quite sure what our opponent's doing yet. Could just cast Eureka now, but I kind of like getting the Hermit off before the Craterhoof Behemoth to really capitalize on that haste. So let's play Swamp. Let's Hermit. And we don't pay Echo next turn, so we can Eureka. Interesting. All right. Well, we're going to go for the win here. So we don't pay Echo. Draw. And I guess we just Eureka. So we'll do Thinks first, see what our opponent's got. Avalanche Riders. Let's do a land. Red Cap. Let's do a Relic. And a Hero of Oxidridge, you say. That's problematic. And E-Witness. And Craterhoof Behemoth. So we take a bunch of damage from Perforos. Doesn't matter. Get back, I could get back Servitude. I could get back Hermit. Hermit's some board filler, I guess. He's got Perforos online though, so not even sure if I can. I probably can't even get in anymore, which is kind of a bummer. So why don't we do the Servitude to get back the Crater Hoof if I have to chump with it for some reason. Taking 6 damage plus Murderous Red Cap's going to kill something, I'm assuming. So I figured we were playing against Burn. It turns out I could not have been more wrong. So there is that. Could not have been more wrong. And the Perforos before is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Get back that. Yep. And, well, I guess that's not bad. So, guess we swing, might as well swing with what we can. It is technically lethal. So it's got the Perforos to block. Do we have more than enough? Maybe we do have enough to win. I guess I didn't know exactly what Crater Hoof did. For some reason I just thought it was +5/+5 or something like that, but so we're dealing 18 to, no, we're dealing lethal to him. I think we do, believe it or not, actually have lethal. Well, that was lucky. So very close, considering we're supposed to be the fatty Eureka deck. Our opponent's, I thought, was a burn deck, but apparently not. Let me find if I've got life gain in here. Primal Command, gain some life. Scavenging Ooze, gain some life. Abrupt Decay, didn't look like it hit any of the things he put on the board. Does it? It really doesn't hit any of the things he put on the board. Now that I think about it, Hero of Oxid Ridge, Murderous Redcap, or Avalanche Riders, or Perforos. Those are all out of Abrupt Decay range. Well, maybe we cut the Decay then. I assume it would be good, but maybe we cut the Metamorph. Not that he's bad, it's just don't know exactly what I'd copy. I guess I could, I don't know. I don't know what I'd copy. Maybe I cut the Garrick. Not that he's bad, but maybe I don't need it. Kind of want the Primal Command for the life gain, for all the life gains. And then cut maybe a Metamorph. I mean, Metamorph copies my guys too, like Behemoth, which is pretty good. Especially if I have the Behemoth Metamorph Eureka, that's pretty solid. Maybe I cut the Reclamation Sage. I feel like there's not a lot of good enchantments I have to worry about. Sulfuric Vortex being the exception, but I feel like overall Reclamation Sage is not going to be fantastic in here. I need more like life gain sort of stuff. All right. I mean, usually Toxic Deluge is pretty dangerous, but I think paying 2 life and 3 mana to get rid of a board is probably decent. Let's try this again. Behemoth is pretty good, no doubt. 6 lands and a deluge. I think we gotta do better than that. How about 6 non-lands and a deluge? No, one more time. How about 3 swamps, an 8-drop, and a bone shredder? All right. Oh, well, bone shredder's paying some dividends here. That's an abrupt decay target, by the way. So we can trade the shredder for the goblin if we have to. I'm not going to pay the echo anyway. All right, don't mind that. Primal Command's actually pretty good. So why don't we go ahead, drop the relic, drop a birds. So we're actually a land away from relic once I put that charge counter on there. And by I mean a land away from Griselbrand, excuse me. A little gutter snipe, not bad. Land there would have been pretty nice. Yeah, just one short, unfortunately. But that's all right. So we can primal command. We can gain 7, search for a creature. Probably works. So we'll be the target. We'll search up I guess an Avenger for the Crater Hoof. But then again, if he kills my birds, I can't cast it. So maybe I'm better off doing the Hermit. That way, if he kills my birds, I can at least cast the Hermit. I guess that makes sense. It's probably the safest play. All right, put a charge counter on it. Primeval. Primeval's not bad either. Guess we probably have to do the Primeval. That way it gets us to our Griselbrand. Because if I do the Hermit, it is pretty good, but I feel like getting the Griselbrand online for the lifelink's pretty important right now. I don't know what a burn deck can do about it exactly, except burn us out, but they only have one card left in hand. If they swing team, I can kill a Pyromancer or a Gutter Snipe, and we end up taking 6, going to 9, so that's not the worst. I guess we're still a land short from getting our 8 drops, even with the Primeval. But next turn I'll get a Hermit, which is pretty good. Could have gotten any lands there. Probably should have gotten my... Actually, no, I shouldn't have gotten Llanowar Waste, and I don't need any sort of life loss stuff. Almost want to ditch Mana Confluence. Still quite a bit of setup to do. We've got to do Hermit next turn, charge the Relic just to get the mana to be able to do Behemoth. If we draw a land, I guess we can drop Griselbrand, who's pretty game altering. No attacks is pretty fascinating. So I guess we'll drop the Griselbrand. Is there a reason to attack here? Gets me 2 lands. Do I want that? How does he deal with Griselbrand? I don't know. Let's just play it safe. If I don't... I mean, attacking there would have gotten me some goods, but I think we get in with Griselbrand and we win. Alright, so we're taking 4, we're going to 11. Or 9, rather, because of the... Yeah, because of the Gutter Snipe. No cards left in hand, though, which is a good sign. Alright, well, luckily won the match. I think our opponent's deck was pretty bad. Let me think of the reason why. He was really slow. It's a burn deck. We saw Flame Slash and a Burst Lightning both games, but no Searing Spear, no Incinerate. He has good enablers. Pyromancer and Gutter Snipe, reward you for the burn. Red Cap's fine. It's not like the cards, anything our opponent played wasn't bad, but you gotta think this deck's pretty bad if it can't beat us, because our deck's not great. Our deck is a hybrid of ramp and reanimate, small amount of each, and a burn deck couldn't take us out. So I'm gonna say the burn deck was not the tier 1 burn deck. All right, happy to get the win though. Very, very surprised to get a win with this deck, to be honest. So happily taking it, and we'll move into round 3.